I want to focus on the conservation piece of this. And I just want to reiterate that portion of the proviso stated that for all license purchased, the department shall calculate the reduced impacts to wild and endangered stocks based on the most recent 5-year average of harvest and reserve those impacts for conservation through increased wild salmoniid escapement or mark selective fisheries capable of harvesting surplus hatchery salmon, because we want to get those off the spawning beds, consistent with genetic protections, etc. So that requires the department to calculate the reduced impacts to wild and endangered stocks and reserve those impacts for conservation. Is it true that this department construes the requirement we just spoke of to terminate on June 30th of this year, and it will not be reserving those reduced impacts for conservation into the future? Is that correct?
I would say partially. It is correct that we do understand that the proviso expires, but I would say it's incorrect to think that we're going to do this calculation and then not and waiting out the clock or something like that. That's not where we're at.
And can I add to that response? So thank you, Senator Solomon. So I spoke directly to the director about this because I assumed this would be a question asked. And, you know, of course, the budget proviso goes away on June 30th, but you have fundamentally changed the composition of the fishery, and that's going to be calculated how those impacts associated to the landings, but also the number of licenses from 240 to 70. So things have changed, and they're going to be calculated, and they're going to be considered. And so it is going to go on. I'm not sure at the end of the day whether this bounces up to the commission to revisit policy 3630, whether the commission delegates to the director and he's got to think this thing through. But I asked him specifically, can I say on your behalf that of course this is going to have an impact going forward? And he said yes. He goes, I just don't know what it is right now because we're in the middle of it. So I hope that's helpful.
Sort of. I think our commission is going to be, and it's a little nerve-wracking for me to be sitting here with the chair of the commission in the gallery, but I think that I can expect as the fish program director to get some assignments from our commission to come forward with some ideas and some thoughts about what next steps should look like in terms of things like allocation. I'm anticipating that will happen.